Hey, welcome to Two Cents, everybody. This is the final episode of this year, 2015. We're recording on December 27th. It's a Sunday, as always. Before we get started here, we were going to be joined by the original Dollar Reviews co-host, David Junko, this week, but he had a snafu. He's currently in Seattle with his bags getting lost or whatever. He's looking to find them. Maybe it was because he got some vibrators in his luggage. Who knows? He might be here next week, though. That's a Fight Club reference if you guys didn't catch it. You probably didn't. Anyway, how you doing, Steve?
Not too bad since we last talked. It literally feels like we talked about a couple hours ago. I've been sleeping this entire day, so
Well, I already
it's been
worked.
crazy, yeah.
I went to work, worked a couple of hours, and
Yeah,
dealt with the
no.
madhouse of selling video games after Christmas.
I'm gonna be up really late tonight. I got a feeling about that. But anywho, what have we got in this very slow holiday week?
Less than slow. It's like boring even. I got some like fun stuff at the end that has nothing to do with what we usually talk about. I guess we got to start with Star Wars. I mean, it's doing things just from the money side of the equation.
I think I might be eating crow on this one. Yeah, it might hit 1 billion domestic now. I mean, I
I
didn't think it
told you it's
could.
gonna do it. It just broke 1 billion within 10 days
Not
globally.
only that, but I mean domestically, the percentage drop was like 30%. So this thing's gonna have legs for quite a while.
Yeah, it made 50 million at home on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Well, okay, 49.3, but to
No,
Disney, 700,000 doesn't mean anything.
I mean, so this is still the second highest second weekend of all
Yeah.
time. I mean, this for the list of highest opening weekends. This number is like up there among the top 10 for those. So
It's not even just that. Like it has the highest record for Monday after initial release, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's a behemoth. They've
yeah,
done tracking. I've seen it twice. Okay, they're saying that lots of people are going for 3 and 4 viewings of this film.
I still need to go for my second, and I'm going to. But I'm really curious when this thing is over, how this is going to stack up amongst the all-time grossers
Well, I mean,
when they're adjusted for inflation. Because
uh-huh.
we go on about how oh, these things are the biggest films ever, and they hit like billion or something. But when you take inflation into account, it's been a long time since we've had an event film that's been this big with,
Avatar,
filling that many seats. Avatar, is it really? Is it even in the top 20 when adjusted for inflation?
maybe I don't
Like it
know.
was huge, but was it like Gone with the Wind huge? Could this
Well, I mean,
be
that's a
on that
different
level?
monster, though, with being a road show in the literal sense of the word, not the
Yeah,
Tarantino way.
but you know what I
But
mean,
the
right? Like,
craziest thing about Star Wars, yeah, but I mean, this hasn't even hit China. It's not going to be opening there till like January 7th or 9th, I believe.
hmm
So, it's the second biggest market for film going. It's got to make a ton of money there.
which is both I'm happy for the creative side that they're doing well, but because this is Disney and how they've been strongholding some exhibitors lately,
Uh-huh.
I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, just as far as the business side, because I know there's a lot of people that are on the Disney is evil train, but with
They
this and how
are.
they brought up the theme park prices, and it's like they're getting really strong, and it's kind of scary.
I mean, when you have a lot of money, you got to spend it, and they spent it on things that makes them more money. Like they're very smart. Like Apple has more liquid assets than Disney does. They could have easily bought Star Wars or something if they wanted to, but they don't spend anything. So, nothing to gain.
Yeah.
Um,
No, we
but we
talked
we
about.
just talked about Avatar, huh?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say we just talked about Avatar a second ago. Slash Film posts this interview that James Cameron did a couple of days ago. I think it was on Tuesday. Apparently, Avatar 2 has an actual date now. Maybe. They've been saying this every couple of years. Christmas 2017
hmm
is the calendar
Yeah, it's
according
got
to
that
Jim Cameron.
same
That's
weekend.
the one now.
Yeah, the second weekend of December.
Yeah.
If Star Wars just decided to move from summer to December that year, which I still think could happen.
hmm They could just stick
I
with
mean,
Christmas. Look how well they're
yeah,
doing.
and I mean they haven't even really started shooting yet, so maybe they might use the excuse
Yeah,
of
they did.
wanting more time. That could very well happen. So, would
They
they play
started.
chicken with Avatar? I think it's obvious who would win there.
I don't know actually, because
I
I
I
mean,
mean, does Avatar was an event, but is it really, does it really
it's been almost a decade since the cameras they used. I'm sure whatever 3D rigs they have
Oh, they've
now.
gotten way better now. Like I
Yeah.
rewatched that movie this year, and that was something that I noticed that animation wise, it might be dated a little in some aspects, but still mostly holds up. But yeah, the
Uh-huh.
live action stuff, those digital cameras, it's like wow, it.
Uh-huh.
I think they were only at 2K at the time too, so yeah, the dynamic range on those things was not that great, but the cameras are way better now.
I mean, the idea here, and it's what James Cameron's been saying since 2009, is that Avatar 2, 3, and 4 are going to come out back to back years. So it's going to be Christmas 2017, 2018, 2019, and those three films are going to create their own trilogy.
Hmm.
And the rumors here is going to be like one film's going to be about the people who rule the skies, one's going to be about the people underwater, one's going to be about this, and it's going to be about all the tribes come together to stop the space marines trying to get the unobtainium or whatever storyline is there. But I mean that seems like the given one. Man versus nature is going to be the prevailing theme across this work.
I don't know about you, but I'm looking forward to it. Like I
I
really
definitely am,
yeah,
yeah.
like I don't know. It seems like because it's a sequel, from James Cameron, and Avatar doesn't need one. It right now because we don't know anything, it kind of seems pointless. But Cameron has never been one to repeat himself, and he's always trying to outdo
Hmm.
himself and always trying to impress audiences. So I think it might be easy to joke about it right now, but I want to believe that he's really trying to give us something new.
I hope so. I mean, if I have to assume that there's going to be some kind of virtual reality component to the next Avatar, especially because we're talking about Christmas 2017,
Hmm.
and the masses, if you don't already have a Google Cardboard, it's going to be available in the next 4 months. So we're talking a year and a half after initial consumer like access. By that point, I'm pretty sure like every film is going to do the what Legendary's doing or Universal with having the VR trailer almost, especially with a film. Well, it's not a franchise yet, but a film that's so grounded in groundbreaking technology that it would be it makes like very logical. It'd be a really no brainer for them to do.
Yeah, I'm curious though creatively how this is going to work out because if the movie the entire legacy of Avatar really is at stake. The Right now, it's been 6 years later. The first movie's just mainly just kind of known as being that technological breakthrough, but it hasn't held up as a classic. So really, I wonder just as far as story, how well this is going to go in terms of the legacy of that entire franchise.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I really hope people go see it, and all of the assholes out there are like, "Fuck James Cameron! All he did was make Pocahontas." Like all those people that, despite loving it and going to see it in droves, like months later, it was cool to
We're
shit
already
on it.
we're already getting that with Star Wars. It's cool to
Really?
yeah. I mean, well, no one's not. I haven't seen anyone like shitting on it, but there's a lot of things like going like, oh well, it's not it's fun, but it's not perfect, and there's these flaws in there. It's like, well,
Well, I mean, I was one of those people,
yeah, I
so
know. You too. I mean,
but
it
I've
is a
seen it twice.
ridiculously
So
fun. Yeah.
like they got my money 2 times, and the second time I saw it, I went and saw it at a Cinemark in the XD 3D format. So they got more than my money's worth. The experience wasn't nearly as good as my initial one, and it's kind of because there was a kid in front of me literally on his phone for half the
Oh my
movie, and the
god.
people behind me kicking my seat. So yeah, it wasn't the best outing, but it was worth my money still. Like it was fun.
I'm not going to say that there aren't issues with Star Wars, but I just don't. I'm not interested in going into something that's popular and looking for things that are wrong with it. I'm sure I'll enjoy it just as much, and it works fine enough for me as a fun space opera.
Yeah.
But that's a conversation for another time. I try to avoid getting sucked into that backlash because it's really, I mean, deep down it doesn't bother me. Like I don't need to point something out wrong just to seem smart.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of feel like some of those conversations are driven that way. But I mean, they are like the Max Landis thing. That was a legit criticism. It just doesn't bother me.
Sure. Um, so Hateful Eight, we saw it yesterday. We have a review. It's up now. As you may know, there's a screener that was leaked on the internet among many other ones, but this was important because the screener was out with The Revenant before either of them were released theatrically. So the CIA was able, or maybe it was the FBI, but whoever it was, NASA, okay, they were able to track where the leak originated, and it was supposed to belong to, or it does belong to, the producer of the Point Break remake.
I thought it was a producer for The Revenant. Or
No, no, yeah.
yeah, okay. I
So
kind of skimmed through the headline, but
yeah, the Weinstein Company sent him, this copy, and he claims that he never received it, that someone signed for it at a desk, and that's the person who leaked it. Um, I just think it's funny because this incident, this story, is the most traction that Point Break's got all week.
do you think that story's it could be plausible, I
I mean,
guess.
every
At the
year
same
there's a
time,
story
though, you
like
could,
this.
yeah, you could just say, oh, well, he's just bitter that the movie's not doing well. I guess I
I don't
don't even
know.
know
I
how it
mean, I
did in
can't
China.
remember. Probably did okay. I mean,
Yeah,
they don't have Star Wars, so what else are they gonna watch?
yeah.
But I remember, I don't know what it was last year, but something very similar happened last year and the year before that, probably. Whatever the first big leak is, whatever screener goes out there first, there's always like a huge story about it, and like probably the worst part is that the trades make it a news item, so then everyone out there already knows that there's screeners available. Like Variety, I think, was the first person to tweet it, and they said Revenant and Hateful Eight screeners are already out there, plus 30 more to come. And you're
Yeah,
like,
and they're basically
okay,
just advertising, hey, it's up
yeah,
there for free. Go get it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Or like today they had a tweet that they did it multiple times. They're like, Game of Thrones most pirated show of the year, and it's like, well, now I know. Well, I think everyone knows now because that show is so well revered. But it's like, oh, okay, so I want to go see that. Time to do it.
Yeah, no, that is an
Just
article that literally all news, film news sites post at the end of the year. Top 10 most downloaded
right.
movies. Not like off iTunes or anything, but like pirated movies that specifically.
It's really stupid. I mean, I get why it's a news item, and there's some kind of analytics you can do there, especially with an audience and maybe like a plus or minus in terms of gross that if it affects it, I don't know, something like that. And usually the box office lines up with whatever is most pirated, with the exception of something like, The Hateful Eight, where it was out before it was in theaters, you could watch it before. But like, what's the point of advertising that? If you're in the industry and you're reporting on it, why would you help the enemy?
I don't know who's reading that. I mean, because uh, it's not like a film blogger site or anything where most.
It's not like the Fox News guy that reviewed the
Oh my
Wolverine
God, yeah.
screener without the special effects.
That review is amazing too. Oh, Roger Friedman, you
Biggest
idiot! You
flubs
really
in
thought you were
in
going to
the
be
21st
protected.
century. So stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically where we're at now. I mean, was it HBO that did it? I know that TV screeners have changed because Game of Thrones, the season premiere this year, that leaked, and a couple other things as well. The TV industry started taking strides. The way that they do it, like I said, I think it's just HBO right now, but they use flash drives. What they do is it's like a Chromecast type thing, and you plug it into your TV or your media center or your computer, and then like it authenticates with the server so you can access it. Like it's DRM. It's the rights are restricted. It's not just a stupid fucking watermark on screen. So you have to be reminded every once in a while who's publishing or not publishing but distributing whatever film you're watching for free at home.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that they're gonna have to do that soon,
Yeah.
especially if they're gonna want to protect their money.
A smart way of doing it probably now is just to stream it to exclusive people, like give them
Yeah.
satellite access or something like that. Just give them an account and a keyword and let them watch it once or something like that.
Because it's a known thing that people in the industry that get screeners invite friends over or lend them out to friends.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
like,
I've watched them from people that borrowed them from someone else. Like I was,
yeah,
yeah, I was in the dorms and someone's like, "Oh, I got it from a friend." It's like, "Oh, can I watch that real quick before you give it back?" And it gets passed around.
definitely.
Yeah.
Especially if someone's like in SAG, but they're not even a voter. It's just like, oh, they have a card. Okay, well, they get a couple of screeners for being a member.
Yeah, I mean, and
And
anyone can be in SAG. Like it's
sort
not
of. I mean,
no.
you do have to pay dues.
Yeah, well, you gotta be in something, but it's not like DGA or WGA where it's more difficult to get in. Anyone can get a SAG card.
I kind of have one. If like I said, if I paid my AGVA dues, I would be a fully fledged SAG member.
Well, there you go.
There I go. Moving on to something weird. Also kind of sad, I guess. You know, they're making that Resident Evil movie right now, the final chapter, the final one in the series until it gets rebooted or whatever. And there's been a couple incidents on set. This week, a crew member died. I don't know their name. I don't know how they're involved. I'm guessing they're in the stunt department. But yeah, they died on set. And if that wasn't bad enough, earlier this year, someone else got in an incident and she had her arm amputated this week as well. So, how much bad luck is going on Sony's set? Like, what is Paul W.S. Anderson like? Is he responsible, or is it just the luck of the draw?
I don't know. I mean, it's unfortunately stuff like this does happen.
Not often.
Not
Like there
not often, but
was,
every once in a while,
well,
we do like every 2 years. There's
it
at
was a
least
couple of
something.
months
Yeah.
ago. No, a couple of months ago, someone died on what was the name of the film? It was I can't remember right now, but something else this year. Someone died on.
I mean,
So,
like there's
I mean, neither of these people are going to be shown during the award ceremony in memoriam because if I don't know their name, that means the people that wrote the article that I read didn't know it either. I mean, you had to dig for it. It was clickbait.
Yeah, I mean, I rarely see this stuff written. I think the only time I read one on a bunch of news sites was because it was on a Michael Bay movie, and that's probably why, just so people could shit on Michael Bay for whatever reason. Someone I think got
Transformers 3 or something.
that might be it. They got part of their skull sliced off from a
Yeah.
cable while driving a car. Yeah, I mean that's the last one I remember reading. Usually, I don't read these things unless there's some sort of backlash behind the creative team that's working on it, and then everyone on the internet goes like, "Oh, how? Well, of course now it's gonna fail, and these assholes are getting someone killed." And it sucks. Shit happens. I don't know what happened on set.
Hmm.
But I mean, it's not a movie I'm necessarily looking forward to. But yeah, that's a bummer.
I mean, it could be worse. It's not Twilight Zone or The Crow.
It
It's not.
it doesn't matter what movie it is. I mean, when it comes to death, that's a human issue. So it's tragedy no
But I
matter
mean,
what.
they had the camera rolling on the actors in those two cases.
Yeah, I
Like
mean
they
that's
like.
like
Have you
the Crow
seen?
that is a freak accident. Like that's just
Well,
scary how
so
that
is
happens.
the
Yeah.
Twilight Zone movie. I'm talking about the guy that got his head cut off by the helicopter. Like the cameras were rolling. That film footage is out there. You can find it on snuff sites. There's gifs of it. Like I don't know.
I don't look for this stuff out, man. I
I
mean,
wonder if the instance like this, it happens far less than it used to. I'm sure, like back in the day, like on something like Intolerance or something huge like that, or like Birth of a Nation with like casts of thousands that people just died or got trampled or
yeah,
whatever.
no, I mean like
But
pilots
I wonder.
died working on Hell's Angels. I know
Oh, I
that.
bet. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like and Hughes was probably super happy because he had authentic like fumes coming from engines. But like, I wonder if this is gonna push studios to just start filming more with blue screen.
Or just using digital actors more and more. I
Yeah,
mean,
that too. But people loved Mad Max this year because of its use of actual sets and authentic set pieces and real stunts.
mhm.
But this is done by people that have, are experts.
At the same time,
And
that is a risk though in that
right,
industry, and most of the time people get away with it, and they live to tell the tale, and it's amazing when it ends up on film. But I mean, yeah, sometimes shit just goes wrong. I'm sure, like that this might be a case where more people are going to say, well, let's do more digital performances. But when it comes to like something like the Bond films, we're still going to get movies where people try to be authentic. You can't be 100% safe all the time. You got to take risks. It's just, but yeah, it's just a bummer that here it went sour. Sometimes that happens.
last thing I got here for movie news, like I said, it's very, very slow week. Sony's animated Spider-Man movie that uh, what's their go-to name? The Chris Miller team.
Phil Lord and Chris Miller.
Yeah, the
I don't
Phil
know.
Miller
Lord
team.
and
There you
Miller.
go. Yeah, Lord Miller. That they're working on. It's being pushed to December 2018 now, so they got a little bit more time to work on that.
Yeah, they got a lot on their plate too.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's
they got
not.
the Han Solo movie. They got that. They were writing the Lego Batman movie. They're working on the Lego movie sequel. Obviously, The Last Man on Earth on TV, and then I remember we were talking a couple of months ago that they have a couple other TV shows in development. They're adapting Serial, 23 Jump Street. I'm sure they're involved in that
I think they're
somehow.
writing it.
So much stuff to do.
Yeah, so they're really keeping busy.
Um, Moving on to TV, James Franco, who never stops working, it was just announced that he's remaking Mother May I Sleep with Danger for Lifetime. I didn't know anything about this, so I just researched it before we started recording. It was a Terry Spelling starring film from 1996. It was originally supposed to be in theaters, but somehow it aired on NBC instead as like a movie of the week. And then even more strange, it was released in theaters in Argentina and Sweden in 2000. And James Franco's remaking this for
And is it
TV.
supposed to be good?
I don't know. What's
Or is it
Lifetime?
supposed
Did
to,
you
yeah, is
check
it supposed
out?
to be trash because of that reason?
Yeah. Did you watch the Will Ferrell Lifetime movie earlier this year with what's her name
No.
from
I
Bridesmaids?
don't watch Lifetime.
I turned it on just because everyone was tweeting about it, and it was so bad. It was a Lifetime movie,
Yeah.
like
I think
melodramatic with horrible direction and really low budget, like unbelievable dialogue. But it's meant for the housewives that need a little more excitement in their lives.
yeah, I mean the last thing that I heard people get excited over for Lifetime was that Saved by the Bell thing.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I looked at the plot synopsis for this thing too. It seems, like it could be good. It's like there's a girl who meets this guy and he's perfect and he's always giving her all this time, and eventually she realized that he's more than just clingy and he might be dangerous.
That sounds like 90s trash.
Yeah, it sounds like it could be fun. Like I might check it out just
Was
because
James Franco starring in it?
I don't know. They announced that
Is he gonna do a
doing this
creepy
recently.
Southern accent?
Something.
I
Who
could see
knows?
that.
Like I kind of want to see it, or at least I'll watch the trailer when it comes
Are
out.
you gonna watch the original?
No, it's Tori Spelling. I'm not like the only thing I've watched of hers is Scary Movie 2. But moving to something else, Gus Van Sant, another director doing TV. He's making an LGBT rights miniseries for ABC. I know he's been working on this for a couple years, and he's finally got it off the ground. So that's really cool. I don't know what he's gonna be doing there. I don't know if he's directing every episode. I don't know how long it is. I'm gonna assume it's 6, as that's kind of the magic number for miniseries. Maybe 8 episodes. More TV, Netflix even. David Fincher is working with Charlize Theron. They're going to be teaming for a true crime drama called Mindhunter. It's adapted from a novel written by the ex FBI agent. Fincher's going to be directing. Theron's going to be producing. Fincher's also going to be producing a little bit. So it's going to be interesting. This is going to be a second show on Netflix. Obviously, he's involved with House of Cards. I don't remember in the press release if it said that he was going to be directing every episode, or if it's going to be something kind of like House of Cards where he just does it every once in a while. Um, but that's pretty big power players at Netflix, especially since Amazon seems like the one that gets all the big names currently.
Yeah, I mean they got a good working relationship with him, so it should be good. Because I know he's had 2 shows that didn't work out at HBO.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's good to see that he's getting work on something, and hopefully that'll be something we can see pretty soon.
Well, I mean, maybe workout isn't the real thing because I mean, House of Cards that was just something that they did on their own, and then they pitched it around everyone, and they just said no. But yeah, he definitely was working on something a couple years ago at HBO that didn't get off the ground. But that happens at HBO a lot. They bring someone in, there's a big announcement about something. Like I know Michael Chabon was supposed to have some show called Hobgoblin there. Like they announced this like 4 or 3 years ago, and there's been no report on that. So it could just went to turnaround, or I don't know. When you have that much money and you make so many shows, you only have so much time to develop all of them. But we'll see. Because I mean, Netflix is getting a lot of traction right now in terms of true crime, taking a page from Serial and HBO's The Jinx. They have that Making a Murderer show right now, which is supposed to be really, really good. I think it started streaming last week, so I might check that out. I might see the first episode. Like kind of the last thing I got here that's actually related to what we usually talk about. Comcast is going to be rolling out their gigabit internet service later this year, so subscribers can get used to much greater speeds at hopefully the same cost. They haven't announced anything, just that it's coming. And this is their attempt to, compete with what Google's offering with Google Fiber, even though it's almost never like nowhere. I think it's just Kansas and like somewhere else, but it might be coming to LA. The reason I think this is worth mentioning on our show, even though it's not really movie or TV related, is, we talk about 4K a lot and streaming. And so streaming 4K, it will really take a toll on your internet service. And so gigabit internet is really going to be pivotal to the success of 4K and if it's going to actually happen at a large scale. So we'll see. Especially,
I mean,
I was going to say streaming VR. Like I've tried it. It does, you do not get the resolution you want when you're streaming something that big.
the hardware is out there. Pretty much almost every TV like in Best Buy is going to be 4K capable, I guess, pretty soon. I mean, I keep hearing about people like have already bought some 4K TVs on Black Friday. Like they've gotten some pretty amazing deals on them. So more and more people are getting the hardware to do it.
I mean, if you have the money, you can get a Vizio 4K on Amazon right now for like $629. And
that's like
it's not shabby. It's 49 inches.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, no, like I know that for Black Friday they had like some 80-inch ones that were like $600 or $800.
Yeah, a friend of mine was looking at like a top of the line Samsung one from last year for I think 11. So it is cost effective. Like if you're looking for a new TV or yours crapped out on you, like you can definitely go out and buy one. The problem is that there's not much content out there yet because there's YouTube, Amazon, and Netflix.
Yeah, but a year from now that'll definitely.
Oh yeah,
that'll definitely change. Like
we talked about this on our show. The 4K Blu-rays, they were supposed to be out already, but they had some like factory assembly line type flaws, or I don't know.
I thought it was slated for release in January.
Yeah, but it was originally like they were hoping for holiday season. Like how do you sell more 4K TVs? Have 4K Blu-rays, obviously. But yeah, so January is when it's supposed to be happening with Sony's first couple. It's gonna be like Amazing Spider-Man 2. And Pixels probably, and
then
just
we got Fox.
Yeah. So and then also, Dolby has their HDR stuff coming out. So the next couple of months, for many reasons, should be exciting technologically speaking. And now just for something completely different. Governor Jerry Brown pardoned Robert Downey Jr. earlier this week for his '90s drug charges. If you don't know, if you think he's just some Boy Scout who's in these Iron Man movies, no, he used to be a big-time alcoholic and druggie. He was arrested pretty majorly for like being like having a DUI while carrying a loaded pistol in LA like in 1996, and he was shooting up. And hey, I like to make the joke that when he was high on heroin while like making Less Than Zero, which is about him being high on heroin, or maybe he's doing coke. That's neither here nor there. It doesn't matter. But yeah, the California governor, he's pardoned him for all these things, which is kind of a nothing thing. But then apparently, even a pardon of that nature still allows you to like own a firearm and like be a registered voter or whatever. Like you're redeemed. Like you get some of your
you're not as strong
humanity back.
Some of
So good for him, even though he's the most bankable star in Hollywood and the highest paid
that's
too.
what it takes to have the governor forgive you.
Sure. Yeah. Surprised Schwarzenegger didn't do it. He was still pretty popular back then. Like I said, this is just random shit, so we have time to buff out the show. I don't know if you saw this. Oh, definitely. I don't know if you saw this. SpaceX has finally had one of their rockets land. So Elon Musk was real happy for obvious reasons. He was tweeting some stuff. And besides that being cool, he also showed off that the Tesla X, their upcoming SUV model with the really awesome gull wing doors, has a Trans-Siberian Orchestra Xmas Easter egg show. You can find a video of this. It's really cool. So like all the lights on the car, like it's... they do the order, like you've seen these videos, right, where you have the Christmas heavy metal music and the lights on people's houses going like
like in sync.
Exactly, yeah. And so every model has this as an Easter egg in the same way that the Model S has a 007 mode, where it says it can drive underwater. Uh, so it's definitely cool. It's one of those things where it's like, well, what do you do when you're the best car maker on the planet with the safest vehicles on the road that has autonomous driving and all of this jazz? Well, okay, well, how about you make a free Christmas show to all your customers? You should definitely check out the video though. It's like three of them doing it at the same time, and it's like perfect, and it's not something that they put together on the fly. Like this is in the code for the computing.
The future.
Last thing I got here that you said the future.
Yeah.
The rockets or the cars?
Both, man. I mean, this is what we're working towards building. I don't know. The cars, it's like, well, I guess that's cool. Didn't really need that, but sure, it's cool. But no, the rockets, hey, man, that's great. Like, fuck yeah.
It's pretty great.
Fuck
I mean,
yeah, seriously.
this is like 2 weeks after Jeff Bezos, whatever the hell it's called, like Blue Sky or Sky Blue or whatever rockets landed to, except like way smaller scale. The reason why reusable rockets is important outside of just
aside from making commercial travel like something we can do, which is what I'm really hoping for.
Thing, though.
Yeah, but that's like the thing that gets me the most excited for. I know that's not the main goal, but like that's the bet thing that I'm just personally looking forward to, that I want.
Well, I mean, that's why everyone cares about this, but yeah, this is just because this way NASA would be able to do more missions, and having a contractor make the rockets for them frees up a lot of cap room that they have for R&D and all kinds of things. And then, also, people will be able to buy tickets.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
Virgin Galactic already has tickets available, but, it's kind of just like you go to the edge of space.
Yeah, it's like for 5 minutes.
You come back. Yeah.
Like you go to just the edge of the atmosphere and then you're out. You got to come back. It's you experience some zero G, and I don't know. I think even then you have to still be strapped to your seat for that, or I don't know.
You're looking for like an orgy in space.
Damn it, SpaceX! Just make those rockets reusable so I can go, please.
What movie is it where there's like jizz flying in zero gravity? I'm not hallucinating here. That's not a movie, like a recent movie.
Rocket Man.
No. That's a Disney movie.
Yeah, I just can't think of a movie that would. That's probably the most tonally accurate movie I think that would do that. But shit, I don't know.
It's not Gravity.
No,
it's not Interstellar.
No, it would have to be something more jokey.
Or maybe was it Vomit? There, I swear,
was it some SNL sketch or something, like some sort of comedy sketch?
Could be. I don't know. Like, there's some space stuff on The Last Man on Earth, which coincidentally uses Jason Sudeikis in those bits. I could have sworn. I don't know. Maybe I'll think about it and it'll come to mind. It's like Guardians of the Galaxy or something. It's Star Wars Episode 7. That's what The Force Awakens was. Well, last thing I got here, which is something that we never talk about.
Come from, man.
Yeah. Music. I don't know if you know who they are, but the band LCD Soundsystem.
I do not.
Okay, well, you know who James Murphy is?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about him on the show. He's scored a couple of Yeah, exactly. Greenberg and While We're Young and a couple other things. So he's a really interesting guy. When he was young, he was like working in the writer's room for Seinfeld, and he quit that because he didn't think he was going to be successful. And he did a whole bunch of things, but what he's most known for is being in the band LCD Soundsystem. And they were active between, I think, 2003 and 2010. And so it's been 5 years since they've been a band. He stopped because he realized that he was a little too old to be a rock star, and they finalized their career with a tour that I was lucky enough to go to. And I had a lot of stops at lots of big venues. So I saw them at the Hollywood Bowl. They played Coachella. They played a couple other things. And the end of their tour, the end of their career, was at the Madison Square Garden. They played back-to-back shows. And it sold out, and they made a documentary about it. It's called Let's Just Play the Hits. It's on Netflix, I believe. Aziz Ansari makes a cameo in it in the crowd. Whatever. The reason I'm bringing them up is they released a new song 2 days ago. It's called Christmas Will Break Your Heart. It's just as depressing as you think it is. And you got to listen to it. You can hear it for free at lcdsoundsystem.com. It's also on iTunes. But definitely check it out, especially if you like the scores to Noah Baumbach's later works, because it's they work together for a reason. They have complementary themes in their work.
Is that the last bit of news that you have?
That's all I got.
Oh
Unless
damn,
you
we're
got something.
we're ending on a down note once again.
I mean, I could play the song when we get sued by whoever their label is.